If you genuinely want your child to be happy and to have the best life they possibly can, then do these 3 very simple things. And the first one is, however you want your child to be treated in a relationship, whether it's romantic or friendships, you speak to them in that way. You give them the respect that you want them to have from other people, because how you interact and engage with your children will be their baseline. And so when they are used to being treated a certain way throughout their whole life by you, that is their blueprint. And so what will happen is when they then go out into relationships, if anybody starts to treat them less than that, well, they won't put up with it, because this is their baseline. They will be okay with being treated better, but they won't be okay with being treated worse, because what that baseline also is, that baseline will be their inner critic. So if you are speaking to them and treating them with respect, that's not only how they will be treating themselves, but again, it will also be their baseline of how they are willing to be accepted by other people. So the next thing that you can do is know what their love language is. And the simplest way to find out what their love language is to ask them, how do you know that I love you? And they will say, oh, you tell me I look pretty or handsome, or you tell me you love me, or you tell me this, or they might say, oh, because you spend time with me and we do this together, whatever it is. And if they're not sure how to answer that, then you can ask them, how do you show me that you love me? And then they might even say, oh, I make you things, I give you things. And so you're listening to the language of, if it's quality time, if it's physical affection, if it's acts of service, like you do this, you look after me. Okay, that's what you're looking for. And so once you've identified what your child's love language is, because it might not match up with yours, and what happens is actually when there's a mismatch is children can go through life saying, well, I know my parents loved me, but I didn't really feel it. Well, that's a mismatch of love languages, which is okay. But the important thing is to know what your child's love language is and make sure that you are showing them their love and your love to them in their love language. It's obviously important to do all of them, because then you're giving them the skills for when they go out into the world and into relationships. But you also want to make sure that whatever they are dominant in for their love language, that they are receiving that. Because when children feel loved, they will grow up to be more resilient. They will have a healthier inner talk, inner critic, and they just have more self-worth, because they know that they are worthy. But they get that from us. And so the last simple thing that you can do to set your child up for life is to understand that back chat is not back chat, okay? What it is, when your child has a voice, when they have an opinion, you as the parent need to be providing that space, that container for them to express themselves. And you will do your best to teach them how to express themselves and use their words in a healthy way. Because it doesn't matter how intelligent you are, if you don't have the skills to communicate your needs, your wants, your desires, things that you have an issue with in a healthy way, it's going to be a lot harder to get along in life. And so as a parent, if you have a decision on something that's a no, and your child is like, yeah, but please can I? Well, teach them. teach them, actually, if you can manage to get me to change my mind by giving me a good counter argument or reasons of why I should, then I might change my mind. And again, they're not back-chatting you. You are teaching them to use their words to be able to find ways of getting their needs met, rather than having a tantrum or getting frustrated and going off. You're actually teaching them how to, again, use their words in a healthy and communicative way. But because they are children, they don't quite have the tools that we have as adults. I mean, some adults don't even still have those tools. And so that's why it's down to us as parents to provide that space, to show them what's healthy. And of course, always to model, because children will do what we do rather than what we say. So we also can model the behavior of what is healthy for them, so that then when we are teaching them to use their words, they know how to engage in a healthy way. All right, I hope that's been helpful. Leave any comments or tips that you actually think is great for helping children to just have a great and better life in their future and for now. All right, so much love and blessings. Bye.